Hello and welcome to my tutorial ebook, Adding Fractions with Like Denominators, where every single problem is linked to a video tutorial. Alrighty, here we go with mountain bike trip. That's correct. Here you are riding your mountain bike on your mountain bike trip. This is an on your own problem, so you should have completed the entire problem on your own, and now you have your paper in front of you as you watch this video. If you make a mistake, no worries, my friend. Simply fix your mistake. That's the fastest way to learn. So here we go. This is the scenario. Your whole family loves mountain biking, so your parents decide to take you on a trip to Mount Tamalpais in California. This is where the sport of mountain biking all began. That's right here. Now, the first day of your trip is foggy, but your family rides 7/9 of the mountain trail. On the second day, your family rides 8/9 of the mountain trail. Your challenge is to figure out how much of the Mount Tamalpais mountain biking trail did you ride in all. Alrighty, here we go. You've got 7/9 of the trail that you rode on the first day and 8/9 of the trail that you rode on the second day. The very first thing we want to do is to create two fraction boxes, and I'm going to put them right side by side because these are both ninths, and the nice thing about that is since my denominators are 9 for both of them, that means I can draw a line across and make 9 boxes at the same time. So if there's 9 parts that I need to make, that means I'm going to draw 8 lines. So here we go with the first line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 lines. Should give me 9 parts. Let's go ahead and count those. I've got 1 for both of these, 2 for both, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 parts in both boxes. That's awesome. So for the first one, I'm going to draw 7/9, which means I'm going to get this here in color 7 out of the 9, and let's double check to make sure I got the right number colored. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect, okay? So your fraction model should look like this. Now let's add in our second one. I'm going to make the plus sign right there, good and dark. And this time I've got 8/9 that I'm going to fill in. So I'm going to fill in one more extra box. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can slide it in where it goes. Slide it right there. Perfect. And this is 8/9 over here, right? So now the first thing I can do is simply make my 9 better, right? Count these up. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Bam! Right there is my answer. I have 15/9. That's how much of the trail you have ridden. Fantastic job, my friend. All right, now the other thing I can do is as you notice, this is a top-heavy or improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And that tells us we can make one whole out of this, right? So what I actually think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and move it over here because then I'll have one whole. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to move this one away from there, and I'm going to move it right here. And now I've got one whole, and this is representing that I've done basically the trail one full time, right? And then I did out of these 9 parts, I've also got 6 out of the original 9, right? So I get 6/9 left over. Now, if I do that mathematically, you can see what I'll do with the numbers here. That means that this is equal to, and I want to make my pencil not quite so thick. This is equal to 9, whoops, I got it right. I'm having little problems here. it's equal to 9/9, which is represented right here. And I like to make my giant one right around that, right? And 9/9 plus the 6/9 that's represented right here from these 6 boxes here. So now 9/9 is really 1, right? So I can rewrite this as 1 and 6/9. So this is what your mathematical model should look like. If it does, fantastic. If not, no worries. Simply pause the video and fix your mathematical model so it looks like mine. You should also have all this writing here. And fantastic job. Let's move on to the algorithm. And here we go with the algorithm. And I got 7/9 plus 8/9. And first of all, we've got to remember the rules. With adding or subtraction, in this time we're adding, right? We have to have common denominators before we do anything else, because that tells us that both these boxes are cut into the same number of boxes, right? Of parts, rather. And then the second rule is that you only add or subtract the numerator. In this case, we're adding. So I'm going to take 7 plus 8, and that will give me 15, right? So, and then I do not add or subtract the denominator, because that only tells us how many parts we've cut this into, not how many parts we get, right? So I get 15/9, which is the same thing I had up here. And I know that this is top heavy, so what I can do is create 9/9, and then I know that 9 plus 6 will give me 15, right? So I got 9/9 plus 6/9, and this 9/9 is really the giant one, right? So I'm going to make a giant one around that, and that means that this is really equal to 1 whole, which is represented right here because I moved this over here to create 1 whole. 9/9 or 1 whole, and then I also have this these 6 parts of this fraction over here, which will be the 6/9, right? So my answer is, for the algorithm, 1 and 6/9, which, as you see, agrees with my mathematical model right there. So if you did this all exactly correct, fantastic. If not, just pause the video and fix it. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon.